When we say Zoom, the first thing that goes in our mind is the pandemic and how everything is done at home now, from business meetings to school. Even trials are done on Zoom. But it all started with its founder, Yuan. Today at Finance Per, we'll explore how Zoom conquered the world and how Yuan became the leader of one of the biggest companies in the world. But for more videos about finance, technology, and business, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Born in China in the 1970s, Eric showed entrepreneurial skills from a young age. He began collecting scraps from construction sites even though it was challenging to separate valuable copper from other materials. To solve this, he had a daring idea of setting the scraps on fire to burn away the unwanted materials. However, his attempt ended in disaster as the fire quickly spread and consumed a neighbor's kitchen shed. This incident left Eric feeling disappointed and disheartened, especially as he had taken his venture to support his family. But as he entered his teenage years, he struggled to find his purpose in life. Seeking guidance, he turned to his father, who advised him to work hard, stay humble, and let the answers reveal themselves. One day, while perusing a newspaper left behind by his father, Eric stumbled upon an article about a tech startup in America. This discovery ignited his fascination with the world of technology, specifically Silicon Valley, where pioneering companies like Microsoft and Apple were making strides in innovation. Eric's dreams began to revolve around the idea of starting his own technology company. However, this dream seemed far from reality as he was in China, where the tech industry was not as developed. After completing his education, Eric enrolled in the Shandong University of Science and Technology to study applied mathematics and computer sciences. Now, during his college years, Eric faced another challenge. He was deeply in love with a girl named Sherry who lived in a city that required a 10-hour train journey to reach. The uncomfortable and overcrowded train rides made him search for a way to connect with her more easily. He envisioned a smart device that would allow him to see her and interact with her at the click of a button. Despite the distance, Eric was certain that Sherry was the one, and they got married when he was 22. After graduating from university, Eric established a small tech company in Beijing, focusing on coding and software development. While it wasn't the Silicon Valley-style company of his dreams, it was a start. In 1994, everything changed when Eric attended a conference in Japan where Bill Gates was giving a speech. Gates discussed the future of the internet, including concepts like social media and video calling. Eric's mind clicked with the idea that the internet could make his dream of immediate face-to-face communication a reality. However, at the time, the internet wasn't widely used in China. Well, Eric won't let it slow him down. His newfound vision inspired Eric to go to America, the hub of technological innovation. Eric's journey to America was far from easy. Barely able to speak English, he faced rejection after rejection when applying for a visa to work in the US. He even mistranslated his job title on an English language business card, causing his applications to be denied repeatedly. After 8 rejections, Eric's friend, who had connections to a small tech startup called WebEx, vouched for him. WebEx, specializing in internet-based phone calling for business conferences, sponsored Eric's 9th visa application, focusing on his coding skills rather than his English proficiency. Finally, in 1997, after nearly 2 years of trying, Yuan arrived in Silicon Valley to join WebEx as one of their first 10 engineers. Leaving his family and giving up his small startup business was a difficult decision. But Eric knew he had to seize this opportunity if he wanted to grow. But Eric soon discovered that adapting to a new language and culture and making friends while speaking minimal English was a huge challenge. He worked tirelessly, often coding through the night, and eventually improving his English skills. Eric's unwavering work ethic, combined with his optimism and honesty, didn't go unnoticed by his colleagues. He quickly rose through the ranks and eventually took charge of the entire engineering team at WebEx. After WebEx went public in 2000, Eric was thrilled at what he'd helped the company achieve. But it was a bittersweet victory, and he remembered his dream to build his own company. That was always his dream. So although he was happy to see WebEx succeed, he vowed to himself that one day it would be his own company going public instead. But before Eric could even consider that, a tragedy happened that made his job more difficult than ever. After 9/11, the world was gripped by fear and paranoia. Many companies didn't want to fly employees across the world unless they absolutely needed to. This meant demand for WebEx's software dramatically increased, as it let businesses hold cheap virtual audio meetings. But Eric realized this was an opportunity to help push WebEx in the direction he'd always wanted: video calls. And so, in 2003, using code that Eric was developing, WebEx launched its first video calling features. This made them one of the first video conferencing products on the market. Eric had finally made his idea from the train all those years ago into a reality, although it wasn't quite how he'd imagined it. Because the WebEx platform had been originally built for audio calls, the video product they'd added on wasn't actually that good. Eric knew their video calls could be improved more if they started from scratch. But before he could even discuss this with anyone, WebEx was sold to Cisco. Now that the company is owned by one of the biggest tech companies in the world, the culture of WebEx changed dramatically. Eric was pushed to his breaking point as he and the other original WebEx employees were dismissed and ignored. He grew extremely frustrated by their new owners' lack of care for innovation and especially their poor customer service. This unhappiness led Eric to a revelation about the purpose of life: pursuing happiness and making others happy. With this newfound perspective, he decided to pitch an idea to his bosses for a new video calling platform focused on usability and user-friendly features. The idea involved a cloud-based platform that required no downloads or signups and provided a stable and reliable connection regardless of internet quality. However, his pitch was rejected by Cisco, as they believed building a new platform was not worth the time or money. Disappointed, Eric faced two choices: continue his safe job at WebEx or take a risk by founding his own company, a direct competitor to WebEx. Despite not having his father's guidance and with his wife suggesting he stay at his current job, Eric chose to take the risk. In 2011, he left his 14-year job at WebEx and quit his six-figure salary to establish his own company, eventually named Zoom. Eric's new company required huge funding, but he leveraged his connections to seek investment. Every venture capitalist he approached rejected his idea of another video calling platform. However, he persisted, changed his screensaver to "You Are Wrong," and received support from friends and former colleagues, including a former Cisco executive who became his first investor. With the initial investment, Eric hired a team of engineers to develop the software for Zoom. Despite not having a name he liked for the platform, Eric was thrilled to have found an American company in Silicon Valley fulfilling his dream. The company's mission was clear: to build a better, user-friendly product. Eric aimed to focus on customer satisfaction, employee happiness, and making himself happy. Many engineers from WebEx believed in Eric's vision and joined Zoom. However, hiring skilled engineers left little money for other departments like sales and marketing. Eric believed that having a superior product would drive its success. In 2012, a few months before launching their video conferencing software, Eric still disliked the name SaaS-B. He reached out to his first investor, who suggested the name Zoom. The company then launched its first beta with no clear marketing strategy, but sought to impress technology reviewer Walt Mossberg to gain positive publicity. A glowing review from Mossberg introduced Zoom to the world and led to a surge in users. Zoom continued to grow and improve its platform to meet customer needs. Eric adopted a customer-centric approach, which led to the freemium model, offering free calls of up to 40 minutes and 100 participants. This strategy allowed Zoom to attract business clients, particularly unhappy WebEx users. By prioritizing customer-friendly features and focusing on improving the software, Zoom eventually captured a significant portion of the video conferencing market. Fast forward to 2020, the pandemic was ravaging the world and everybody was on lockdown. This forced people to work from home and use video conferencing tools. Zoom's sudden and unexpected boom resulted in increased demand and exposed some of its operational challenges. The company experienced outages, struggling with security issues like Zoom bombing, and faced scrutiny for privacy and data handling practices. But despite these challenges, Zoom's user base continued to grow dramatically during the pandemic. It soon gained recognition for being user-friendly, especially for casual home users who were not tech-savvy. Zoom's revenues skyrocketed during the pandemic, increasing from $330 million in 2019 to over $4 billion in 2022. However, its market share began to decline as competitors like Google Meet gained traction. But Zoom is not yet done, and they even ventured into new technologies such as AI language translation. Zoom's story and Eric Yuan's eventual rise is an amazing story. But for more amazing videos about finance, technology, and business, don't forget to check out our channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notify bell for upcoming videos. For now, this is Finance Spur. Have a great day.